Hi, welcome to Matters of DeCorum. I'm Scott Corum. This is what matters to me. It's kind of a cross post. I'm going to talk a little bit about my medical condition and a little bit about where it has left my creative processes. It's an interesting and somewhat frustrating point to be at. As of yesterday, the 12th of February, I have undergone 1 full week of my chemotherapy and radiation treatments. And for the most part, they kicked my ass. I mean, in a fairly serious and meaningful manner. I slept Wednesday. I got a couple of things done Thursday. Friday, I was able to be a little more active. Went and saw Deadpool and went to dinner for my wife's birthday. It was a bit of a chore, bit of a strain, bit of a stress. In the midst of all of this, I believe this week I have gotten something on the order of half a page of writing done, which is not going to pay any bills. I have maintained all along that I'm going to try and write and create as much as I can during the cancer treatment. But man, that's not easy. This is a Deathspresso Mocha. It is 4 shots of Death Wish espresso over 5 scoops of vanilla ice cream. I'm going to drink this, and it's going to give me a few hours of actual operating time, during which I may or may not have enough creative effort to get something written. I'm certainly going to be able to finish the video. Whether it's the caffeine or the sugar, the combination of whatever, this is what I need at about this level. This is what I need to keep myself operational. One problem I'm having right now, one fairly severe problem I'm having, is focus. I can't sit down and decide that there is something that needs to be worked on and work on it. I'll have something run through my head that applies to something I'd like to get done, and I will try and work it through. Before I became sick, I could get 8, 10, maybe 12 creative hours out of my day. That was my usual. There was some caffeine involved in fueling that process too. But that was the price of it. That's how I created. That was how I produce as much stuff as I've produced. That is the rate at which I put over 200 products up on RPG now. I am lucky right now if I get 2 or 3 productive hours out of my day. This will no doubt change as the treatments come to an end and I start to recover and I build up my old energy levels again. Maybe even better than my old energy levels. I might not need as much of this. But before they get better, my energy levels are going to tank. Seriously. This is 1 week of chemo and radiation. There's 5 left to go. The worst of it's going to hit around the end of the 3rd week, beginning of the 4th. And I still really feel the need to remain as productive as I can. It is a time of reflection and introspection, looking at the things I've got on the table in front of me and evaluating them, judging them, seeing what really deserves a little bit more effort and what doesn't, and what needs the work and my precious time and what I can just let go. The problem is, it's a judgment call it's hard for me to make right now. Because there's about 5 projects, gaming-wise, victory system, whatever-wise, that need attention as soon as I can give them attention. There's Mecha, which is about half done, I would say. Maybe not time-wise, but certainly content-wise. It's about half done. There are the setting books, Shattered Earth, Destiny 2025, Stellarpunk Genesis, and those need to be given attention. Even if I can't produce them one at a time, bam, 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 which is proving harder than I thought, giving each one a little bit of attention as I get to it so that they all come out at some point is still a priority. For my Patreons, there's the DeCorum After Dark products, which should be fairly small, simple, monthly products of a slightly more mature and adult nature that I can't even conceive of what needs to come next. On top of that, there's all the random stuff that comes into my head, the stuff that usually goes into a Victories vault or a little supplement off to the side, something that reaches out to prospective customers or people who are looking for something new, says, hey, look, I'm something new, please buy me and have a look at the rest of these products. I haven't had the presence of my writing partner, Victor Gibson, since this started, because mostly our arrangement has been that I would need to go and get him in my car so to have him here, and on the amount of pain medications that I'm on and the amount of energy that I don't have, driving is not an option for me right now. So trying to crank all of this stuff out of my own rapidly depleting energy resources and rapidly depleting creative resources isn't easy. On top of that, there's the hopefully steady production of videos to talk about things that are of interest to people in role-playing games and science fiction and fantasy and whatnot, or people just trying to keep track of me. Thank you very much. There's the trying to expand into areas with more special effects and more professional production values. Trying to do extra things outside of these videos, including talents of other friends of mine, people who, like Wayne Ziegelmeyer, who's a brilliant fabricator and an amazing steampunker and just an artist when it comes to the production of prop-like items and items of interest. I want to write cookbooks. I've got 50 directions to go, and the energy to go in half of one of them. Add to that fueling the creative effort, something that everyone who creates has to do. You can't just sit down and constantly just type away and make new things happen. You have to put things into your mind to get things out of it. You need literature and movies, and you need to go out and to look at the world and see people interacting and see things that inspire you or that depress you or anger you. You need to develop an emotional response to the world around you that demands expression. And I don't have the energy for that sort of thing. It seems sad and almost ridiculous to say, but giving a damn takes a certain amount of personal resources. And personal resources is where I'm going bankrupt at the moment, which is bankrupting everything else, seeing as how I make my living, such as it is, off of the products of my personal resources. So, where does this leave me? And more to the point, why am I sitting here complaining about this to you? Well, folks, sometimes I'm going to reach out for help, and I'm doing that here. You may be seeing this straight on YouTube, a subscriber to my channel. You may be seeing this through my WordPress site or on Facebook, where I post all these videos. And wherever you're seeing this, thank you. I really appreciate the time and attention that you give to these videos. Wherever you're seeing this, I'm going to ask for a little bit of feedback and response. If you were a customer, if you were someone who is looking to buy a role-playing product, something that would spark your games and move you ahead, I'm going to throw 3 product ideas out there. They're things I've got work in the process of, and I'd like to know what you think would be the best use of my time and effort. There's the Mecha book, a book on giant robots and powered armor, how it relates to the victory system, with a large selection of pre-existing mechs and the ability to customize, modify, or create your own. It's a book of near-modern weaponry, firearms, melee weapons, over 100 weapons in the book, along with the ammo and accessories that go along with them, a random generation of weapons for the near-modern era, and material to back up weapon-based campaigns. I created an item for the victory system called the D-holster. It's actually an item I created for a GURPS game I played over 20 years ago. But the D-holster itself is a band or a belt or something that allows you to store items in a dimensional pocket, pull them out when you need them. It's sort of like hammer space for your general bits and pieces. I've expanded on the concept of the D-holster, taken the technology a little bit further into larger and more ridiculous concepts, which requires a certain amount of backup in the company that produces them and what they do to try and help governments stay safe while they continue to produce these potentially devastating items. And that is a separate book that's in my head, rethinking the fantasy setting, Destiny War for the Shattered Earth, Destiny 2025, the near modern setting for victory, Stellarpunk Genesis. I'm nowhere near ready to start really seriously working on Stellarpunk Genesis yet. So, War for the Shattered Earth, Destiny 2025. What would spark you? What would grab you? What would make you become a customer, or as a customer, what would say, that grabs me, I'm going to buy that? If none of these ideas have any appeal for you, and they might not, what would? I'm at a point where I'm kind of ready to take requests. I am that depleted. That's piece of help number one, is feedback. There's a comment section, or just leave a comment or a suggestion, whether it's Facebook or WordPress or YouTube. I'll read them all and appreciate each and every single one of them. I'll try to respond to all of the comments that I get personally. That's help number one. Help number two. I have a lot of products that already exist. Maybe you have thought about playing a role-playing game. Maybe you play role-playing games, you just haven't looked at mine. Maybe you've looked at mine and you've seen one or two things, but nothing else really hits you. On YouTube, you'll find underneath this video a link to my sales page. And if you just go have a look, if you just go have a look at what I have to offer as far as the old Hot Chicks role-playing game, or the new Victory system, my line of paper standees, the tactical paper, have a look and see if there's a piece or two that doesn't spark your interest or make you think maybe you could buy one or two items. Just one or two items, anything. A little bit helps. Every little bit helps at this point in time. And allowing my body of work to do some work for me at this point in time is, there's a reason that I have stacked up as many products as I have. I'm very proud of them, actually. I've done an awful lot of work in that area, and I think it's good stuff. Buy one or two items, see if they spark you to maybe want to buy more. Or not, but have a look. Hot Chicks, the role-playing game, which is kind of started off as a tongue-in-cheek product and turned out to be have a lot more depth and meaning than I expected it to, is currently a pay-what-you-want product. Meaning, if you'd like to pick up a copy for free, you go ahead and do that. Have a look, see if you like the writing style, see if it appeals in any way, or drop a few bucks on me for support or donation. That's lovely. Anything helps. The supplement that I created to help visualize my fight against my cancer, Beat the Squamous, is also a pay what you want. If you are interested in supporting my creative efforts in a slightly more direct way, I do have a Patreon page. Patreon.com/DeCorum. And any donations I can get there are a huge help. Currently, my Patreon account is set to receive donations every time I put up a video or put out a role-playing product or a piece of art. I'm considering changing that to a flat monthly donation, but have a look and see if you would be interested in donating. If you don't feel like donating every time I put something up, cap your donation at a level that you are comfortable at. Anything is a benefit right now, especially as I am struggling to produce anything at all. This video is probably going to exhaust the energy I'm going to get from this. Lastly, as far as any assistance I might ask for directly here, share. If you would be so kind as to spread this message, pass around the link to my Patreon or my sales page at RPG Now, or even this video. The more broadcast it gets, the more potential hits, the better off I have the potential for doing. I believe in letting my work speak for itself. I think it's pretty good. Week 2 of therapy starts on Monday. Radiation at 8:10. Chemo at 10, so I get dropped off at 8 o'clock in the morning for radiation, and then walk over a building to sit and wait until they can put me in a recliner and start me on my cancer juice. The first week wasn't terrible. I was very happy to sleep in this morning and not have to go be strapped down to a table and do the radiation bit. That every morning radiation is a bugger. Five weeks to go. We are counting down. It has started. I'm in the process. I jumped through the major hoops. The biggest hoop is still losing the teeth. And that's done, healed, moving forward, and I'm still struggling with finding food that I can eat that is giving me a high enough calorie count and enough protein is actually it would be terrible for me at any other time, but it's the energy. I need it. And it's not adversely affecting my blood sugar right now, because even my blood sugar is saying, yeah, you need the energy. There is no way I'm going to be able to get through this without help. I will do a couple of shout-outs. My family has been amazing. My wife takes me to my radiation. She's on the phone with insurance right now, probably. She's going to bat for me where there's difficulties with the insurance and making sure that everything is covered and taken care of, and really putting her shoulder under me and lifting me up and giving me all the support that she can. My son is likewise ready to carry me if I fall. Right next to me the whole time. There was some confusion about how radioactive I am exactly, and whether he could sit next to me at Deadpool and still give me proper grandchildren. That was an interesting conversation. I'm not radioactive at all. All the radiation stays in the therapy lab. They just use it to create the beam that they shoot the cancer with. My dear friend and personal assistant, Devin, and the time and effort that she puts into showing up daily, making sure that I have things like this and food that I can eat, that if I need help standing or moving, if I need to wake up at a particular time, taking my medications, keeping track of my blood sugar, day to day, all the drudgery little bits that really add up and make the difference in the long run, she's right there. I have some of the best friends in the world. A lot of you are probably watching this. And I want to say, for every bit of encouragement and humor that I get in the phone calls or Facebook or email or comments, I am humbled because I did not realize that I had this many real friends. And even the most quickly typed out thought of Facebook post is something that is encouragement and gives me hope and reminds me that I'm not doing this alone. I could not do this alone if I tried. Family, friends, loved ones, I'm really amazingly well supported. Everyone who comes and visits, everyone who gives me a little bit of their time. Thank you. Thank you all. And 5 weeks of therapy to go. I've been given 70 to 80% chance that this combination of therapies will put me in full remission. I like those odds. I like those odds a lot. And if I don't quite hit that mark, a little surgery might be required to finish taking care of this. It's just getting through it. It's just a process of every day waking up, and that right there is a chore some days, and doing what you have to do, knowing that it's taking you someplace you don't really want to go, but it's better than the alternative. You get through it. And that's really the only option there is to get through it. Thank you again for your time and attention. Hope I put something up soon that's a little bit more fun or exciting or sexy. Some high concepts, talking about maybe one of the products I want to do or the concepts involved in it. I'm going to talk about the deholster product for a while because that's actually kind of, I might do one soon and do that. In the meantime, thank you for your time and attention. Any help I can get at this point in time is really appreciated. I'm Scott DeCorum. This is what's mattered to me. And I will see you next time on the next Matters of DeCorum. Right, like I could follow that.